Good morning. Let's see, what time is it? Ooh, it's almost 10. So let's talk about some of the... Let me turn out that light because it's bothering me. Alright, I am fully dressed. I just am warmer with this one. Anyways, so let's talk about some of the comments from yesterday because I got a lot of crap because when they walked in the door, I was already pissed off. Yes, I'd already spoke to them on the phone. Yes, I was already pissed off. And as far as me being controlling with the girls by telling them not to wear a crop top to a funeral, maybe I am controlling. I don't know. It's inappropriate, and I won't have it. I mean, if you don't like my rules, then don't live at my house. That's all I can tell you. But yes, he used that funeral as an excuse. It wasn't really a funeral because Michael's grandparents donated their bodies to science. So Tulane Medical School came and picked him up. There is no body. And his grandfather was 99 years old, so he has no friends. All his friends are either incapacitated or dead. So it was supposed to be a gathering at his mom's house, like a memorial kind of for the grandfather. Ironically, Michael is the only child that showed up. Neither of his sisters nor his brothers showed up. None of the other grandchildren did. So really, they invited a few of their old church friends over and made a show, and then they all left to go to a bar. And they hid that from me. They all knew about it before, and that's why I thought it was weird that she wanted to wear a crop top to a freaking funeral, but they all knew about it and lied, and that's why I am angry. Yeah, I probably do. I got a new phone case, so it closes on top of it. It's like a wallet, and it maybe it gets my camera dirty. I don't know. So, yeah, these people are like, oh, you're so mean to him. Of course I'm mean to him. Because he's mean to me. You can't just do things and when someone reacts to what you've done, call them crazy. Because that's not fair. Yeah, it is a good long time. And he had some heart issues. The grandmother, I think he had a bypass or a heart attack or something. Years ago. And she put him on this diet, and he, like a heart-healthy diet. I have her cookbook. And then he never had any other heart surgery and lived to be 99. So he did really well. Anyways. So that whole funeral was just a big sham for them to get together and go to a bar. And then Michael uses every excuse to go to Prairieville to see his, those women that he was, one woman that he was talking to. And then they lie to my face. As if I'm not tracking my kid and know where they're at, I'm just tired of it. So for those of y'all saying, oh, you're so angry. You're changing. You're so angry. Of course I'm freaking angry. I'm angry at him. And I'm angry at me because, here I am worried that he's dead in surgery. And I shouldn't be because I can promise you he would not be caring about me. So, but I can't help myself. But, honestly, even if it was somebody that I absolutely loathed and detested and hated, if they just had surgery and they were sick, I'd probably take care of them too. Because, what are you going to do? Right? I don't know. But to answer your questions, like, why do you stay? Why are you doing that? If you think that I am not here making preparations, then you're absolutely wrong. So Facebook has changed the way they pay the creators. And for those of you still in shock that TikTok is no longer available, it'll probably come back. I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe it'll boost revenue on this platform. But, that's not for sure. So I'm working my tail off on that blog and trying to get it monetized. I think you have to have 50,000 sessions in a month. And I have accomplished, now I'm not there yet, I'm not even close, but I have accomplished in 2 weeks what has taken others years to accomplish. Now, I can't take all the credit for that. A lot of that credit is you, because I have a huge platform that I'm using to help build that. So I have this Facebook page, and it has a large following, and that is most definitely helping me build the website. So I can't take all the credit, but I have been going back and making some changes, improving the pictures, things like that. And it's really kind of helping. And then there's all kind of like little things you have to put it on the backside. It's called SEO, search engine optimization. You have to know what words to put in, like special search words, and where to put them. That's just Jimmy. Okay, so when I post pictures of the recipes, if you click the picture, it should take you to the website, and then you can save it to your favorites. They're all over the page. I'll put another link up here. Also, the picture, okay, so those blog posts about what I'm going through, essentially, those are just journal entries that I turn into, blog posts, so that you guys can kind of see where my head is. And I will tell you, it's all over the place. Okay. Last summer, when we were going through that money that we collected was not for divorce, because I never collected enough money for that. That was for the legal fees that we were already going through. And I haven't asked for any money, so stop it. And it was blatantly said that in there. So most of those that are complaining are not even people that gave money. So I think they're just jealous that I have a support system here and that they don't have. And that's no fault of yours or mine. Who knew that this page was going to turn into a support system and not what it was supposed to be? An income revenue. But I didn't get any of that money. All of that went straight to Bo. It'll break me if I stay. No, it's not going to break me, because I have a plan and I'm determined. So one of two things is going to happen. By the time I'm going to have enough money to do everything that I need to do, or he's going to change and everything's going to be better. This or that. And you can place your bets. But I can't, you're right, I cannot live like this forever. Maggie, do not start. She's been a barky dog today. So he did get home, and he did eventually go cover all the pipes. So I feel a little better about that. He unhooked all the hoses, took care of the chicken yard. Ooh. We got the goats already. The only thing I'm really worried about for the next few days is losing electricity, because we're out of firewood now. I have a friend, my friend Stacy, said I can come get some wood from her, and considering there's a good chance we'll lose electricity because we're not made for all this ice and snow. So my guess is that limbs will break and power lines will go down. I guess I should prepare for that. So I might take Camille's truck and go get some firewood from her today. Well, Jennifer, that's okay, because that's what I needed mostly, and still do. So, but my attorney made a very good point that you can file for divorce and start all over and your life will be a mess and you're not prepared for this. But you can prepare if you can hold it together. Most people cannot. I am bound and determined. Now, is it breaking me? Is it changing me? Probably. But that man has taken so much from me that I refuse to let him take one more thing. Not one more. Not one more. Let's save that image. Interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to do... Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely was hoping that things would be better, but they're obviously not. And what's making me even more determined, he is not sorry for anything that he's done. Everything is my fault and everything I deserved. So he's not sorry for anything and he's not trying to make things better. So, that's that. So he'll either do those things or he won't. And that's just the way it's going to be. But, in the meantime, I'll continue to do the things that I would do for any of you should I be living in the same house with y'all. And, I'm not going to make my life harder on myself by just being a hateful person for no reason. But I would say I'm probably 3/4 of the way of getting that blog monetized. And whenever I feel comfortable that I can, when the business is making the money that it either used to, or I'm comfortable that I can live on my own, then I'll go. Because you're right, I'm not living forever. I think I've made it pretty obvious that I do or did, I don't know, love my husband and, miss the man that I was married to. But he seems to not care at all. I have some friends who swear to God that as soon as he can, or as soon as this lawsuit is over, he is going to take his money and just really try to stick it to me. And that's fine. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to Like, as far as doing what he's doing and trying to mess with other people, I'm not doing that because I believe in marriage. Like, I believe that once you make the commitment that, yeah, I'm not doing that. It's just not who I am. He can. But I'm not doing that. I'll have to answer for it one day. Okay, on a happy note. Are y'all okay with the whole... well, it's been 3 years, so... Are y'all okay with the whole TikTok ban? Y'all all surviving? I don't really imagine most of you even care. Because, I don't think most of you really get on TikTok. Maybe you do. I don't know. I never was much to get on TikTok because all the reels that were on TikTok, people shared over to Facebook anyway, so I saw them anyways. What else was I going to tell y'all? I feel like there's more I need to tell you, but I'm getting distracted. So, on these lives, sometimes my brain goes like shooting off electricity. It goes 90 miles a minute. That's why I've been doing this writing, because it helps me just keep it more organized. Why come online to air my dirty laundry? Because y'all are invested in this. Like, you've been with me the whole way. It's not just it's not just my life anymore. At least that's the way many of you perceive it. You know, y'all feel invested and feel like I owe you an explanation, and that's fine. I don't have anything to hide. I never had TikTok. So the way they did this law where they banned TikTok, I don't understand that, because ByteDance owns several other platforms like Lemon8, which is another kind of video app. It's owned by the same company, so why didn't they just make this law to where it banned all Chinese-owned social media in the U.S.? The way they did it doesn't make sense. But they don't let me run things, because the world would be a better place if they did. I feel bad for those who made a living off of TikTok also, because I know how much work goes into that, especially on TikTok, because a lot of that is editing videos. I always seem to be the angry one. Well, why would he be angry? He's going out having a great time with his girlfriends and doing what he wants. And he's so stupid. You know, he has to go next week to have his a scan of his liver, because his liver enzymes are all jacked up. So he celebrates his grandfather's passing in a bar with his liver messed up. That his parents are there encouraging him to do. Whatever. Oh, Lemonade went down too? I don't know. I didn't check. But that would make more sense to me if it did. Okay, Sarah's saying it did. Well, that makes more sense. So, but then there's still the Red Book, I think it's called. Red Book. Red Stripe, Red something. That one is not owned by ByteDance, but it is owned by another Chinese company, so same thing. Okay, millions of people, it was their second income. That's what she said. For millions of people, it was their only income. So, yes, I do feel sorry for them. And maybe it'll come back. I think I saw on the news this morning that there's talks of Trump signing an executive order. I'm not sure how that works, because it was passed by Congress. So I'm not sure. I don't know. But it'll figure it out, and it'll be whatever God wants it to be. But, you know, we're kind of going through the same thing here. You know, not that we lost our income totally, but we basically have. I mean, we went from making a lot of money on Facebook to making hardly any. So we kind of are going through the same thing, but we are lucky because we still have this platform to use to build other platforms that can be monetized in a better way. So for me, that's going to be the blog, and eventually YouTube. I just got to get better at editing those videos. Editing videos is easy on one hand, but if you want the quality of like what you would see a lot of those TikTok people, it's like, oh my God, do they have a whole, you know, set? I mean, they don't. They just have somebody that really knows how to do the editing. So that's what I'm working on. Lightroom is what I use for photos. That in itself is complicated. Some lady said, can you show us how to do that? I'm like, basically you go in there and you can save certain like editing types. And don't ask me how, because I done forgot. But I saved a bunch that I liked. And basically I go in there and clickety click until I find something that I like. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I am getting better at it. So I can't teach you because I barely know how myself. But go on YouTube. There's 1,000 Lightroom editing videos. If you are an influencer, I guess you could say, and need help with that. Same thing with the editing. There's all kind of, like the one I use the most is called Splice. It's super easy. It's kind of like the Apple editing, iMovie, I think they call it. It's super easy, but you could do a little more with it. But it's not the quality that you can get on, what is the one by Microsoft? I can't even think of the name of it. That's the one I want to learn how to use, because they even use that to make movies. They use that at PBS here locally. So that's the one I want to learn how to use, but it is very complicated. It's almost like learning a whole different language. I mean, it's very much like that, because you got to remember all these keystrokes, like Control STD. I don't know, I picked those letters, but does one thing, and then Control XYZ does another, and Control Z does one, and Control T does one, and it's a lot. And you have to remember those. It's literally like learning a whole different language. It's a computer language. It's a lot for me, especially with my mind being so jumbled. You tried Temu? I like Temu. I mean, it's okay. Some stuff I get in there from there I really like. Some stuff I get from there, it's kind of like I've ordered a couple sweaters from there, and they're not great quality. But they'll last for a season. And for what you paid for them, well, it used to be cheaper. That too has gone up. The weather is, so the high today is like 48, I think. And then tonight is going to be freezing. So tonight and into tomorrow and Tuesday, I think, is going to be the worst day. And Wednesday is going to be very cold. So I'm really struggling about the goats, because Michael doesn't want to put a heat lamp because they, yeah, but it's not a social media. It's like kind of like Amazon. Michael doesn't want to put a heat lamp because they headbutt their we have a kennel out there that's like covered in like a huge rug to keep the wind off of them, and it has hay in it. Last year I think we put a heat lamp kind of like not in there but above it, on it. But he said that it had like this little metal cage around it, and he said that they headbutted it. That better? He said that they headbutted it, and he's scared that they're gonna headbutt without the little thing on it. They bent it all up, and now it won't go on. And I think we threw it away, but he's scared that they'll headbutt it and break the glass of the bulb. So, anyways, so we're debating on what to do about that. I say still use the heat lamp. Just put it up way high where they can't headbutt it and point it down on them. I do have a heated blanket I thought about throwing around their enclosure. But I've never even used that blanket. I kind of want to use it myself, and I don't want the goats to get... If I put it out there for the goats, it's over with. I'm never using it because they'll pee on it. And I know even if I put it over their enclosure, they'll still get pee on it. So I don't want to lose my heating blanket to that, but I will if I have to. The chickens, we didn't really have to do anything to them, just fix their water to where it wouldn't freeze. So there's two things we did with that. One is I have an old gross that I bought at like a gross thrift store. I won't say the name, but the place is disgusting. It was super cheap. So I got this old crock pot from there that actually worked. And I put some water in it and turned it on low so that water will not freeze. It might be kind of warm, but it's better than frozen water. And then I also have this little box that I made. I'm trying to think. I thought it was over there, but it's not. And it has a light bulb in the metal box, so it warms the box. And then I'm going to take their waterer and put it on top of the box, and hopefully that will keep their big waterer from freezing. And then I know you guys up in the north, like, you have all these plants and heated waterers and drinkers and all that stuff, but we don't. We get like a day or two of this sometimes every few years. So I don't spend a lot of money trying to get the heated drinkers and things like that, because to use for once every few years. The heat lamp, I said the same thing, put it however they can't headbutt it. But Michael said if you put it that high, it won't warm them. I'm like, I think it will. What do I know? So I'll probably be out there putting in a heat lamp later. Because all of that sounds like excuses of why he doesn't want to do it. Fill my bathtub so I can flush the toilet. My blog link, if you go on the page, you'll see pictures of different food. Just click those pictures. It should take you. Or sometimes in the description, you'll see the little blue link. That'll take you to the website. But it's mrsmunson.com. MRSMUNSON. Bubby, the dogs are eating dog food. That's what y'all hear. Hello from Ireland. Just seen a hack that said put a bottle of water that's filled with a lot of salt and water in it and set it in the middle of their water bowl. Keeps them from freezing. It's worth a try. Yeah, that's another thing. I do worry about heat lamps. But we don't put it close enough to, like, really heat up the hay that much. And last night, we put what was left of our hay in their kennel for them. I call it a kennel because it is a huge dog kennel. That was for Maggie when she was a puppy. But both goats can get in it and lay, and the pig can get in it and lay in it. So we put hay in there for their bedding to keep them warm. Well, they keep getting in there and eating the bedding. So, which is weird because we bought the expensive Timothy hay for the goats and they won't eat it. But they want to eat this stuff. So, whatever. So we had to close the kennel last night so they couldn't get to the hay. They still got through it through the sides, but not as much. So that they had hay for tonight and tomorrow. The chickens will be fine. They'll get in their coop, and they'll not forget that they're wearing a down coat. So the chickens are fine. And they all bundled together. It is straw. It's straw. It's actually a bale of straw that we got for, like, during the fall. We use it for decorating on the porch, and then we save it. They're not high-class goats. They don't eat, like, Hank is the pickiest goat ever. We feed him treats, and he's weird. He won't eat. Like, Waylon will eat anything I put in his mouth. But he was a bottle baby, and he trusts us explicitly. The pads that you use for heated floors work great. I didn't even know there was such a thing. So it is straw. I think the snow is supposed to start Tuesday. Jimmy Dean will probably spend most of his time inside. So, I mean, he has a luxurious dog bed. Jimmy Dean is fine. He'll go outside, potty, and then run his little tail back inside. We didn't get any snow yet. It's supposed to come Tuesday. Oh, I call it hay. I'm sorry. Just bring the goats inside? No, I will not bring them inside. I love them. I do. And it's not even them. I'm not even worried about them pooping because that's an easy mess to clean. It's the pee. I'm not doing it. Nope. Not bringing them inside. I mean, most people have a barn. This little thing they have is kind of like a barn. I mean, we've got it. When I tell you, it's like a big area floor rug that I have it, like, covered in so the wind can't get to them. And it's under the carport. Like, not under the carport, but over an eave. So, where I used to go outside and sit and watch my birds, but now I can't sit there without getting molested by goats. So, I don't sit there anymore. We don't have a garage. We have a carport. No, that wouldn't keep them in. Yeah, the house would be destroyed with goats in the house. No, I'm not bringing them in. I do not need goats. We got the dogs. We got the dogs. We have the cat and the pig. And that's enough. Y'all got snow in Arkansas last night? Yeah, they'll stay close to each other. And, we did have some little sweaters last year that we put on them. So we might be able to find those and put those on them again. Waylon, he has big, long, thick hair. His hair is long. I was rubbing him the other day and I shook him, did like this to his hair. And it was like long and flowing, and it just shook. He looked like he was in, one of those Vidal Sassoon commercials, like doing this. I bought my dog a heated pad. Sleeps on the back porch. Huh. Michael wants to throw my heating pads in there, but I'm like, they don't make those things like they used to. And I have one that's like old that I bought at a garage sale, and that thing works good. So I don't want to do that. Plus, they'll get nasty. I want to keep my heating pads. So worst case scenario is we'll do the heat lamp, or I also have the heated blanket that will wrap around the kennel And maybe that'll help too. And that's as fancy as I'm getting for those goats. Yeah, the goats will be fine. I worry about them more in the summertime when it's super hot than when it's cold. I have some sweaters to put on the goats. And some little jackets. Yeah, and those people with like 100 goats, they don't put jackets on their goats. They don't, you know, they let them stay out in the field in the snow. Not makeup tutorials. I think I have done those before. I mean, maybe, but I'm telling you, I'm not really good at makeup. So Jimmy's, it is time for me to go feed them. So I usually feed him at 10. It's 10:20. I'm late. So that's why he's hollering. Goats would eat the heating pads. Ours probably wouldn't. They're not like normal goats. Like people say, oh, the goat ate my, you know, license plate off my trailer. You know, like the towing trailer or the car. Our goats don't do that. They go find some wood. All right, I gotta go feed him because it's past time. And in case you can't hear him, he's hollering. So, I just wanted to come on here and clarify everything. If I'm angry, it's because I'm angry. Read the blog. It'll make sense. But there are times when he's super sweet. All right, I'll talk to you soon.